just a few days ago, the National Health Insurance Authority had announced that, renal failure patients who had to undergo kidney dialysis were going to get some treatments for free. In fact, they gave different explanations as to who and who would benefit from the 2 free sessions as well as 8 free sessions. In fact, they said that if you are 18 years and below or 60 years and above, you get 8 free sessions every month. Now, if you fall within 19 years and 59 years, depending on which facility you go to for your dialysis treatment, you're going to get 2 free dialysis sessions. But if you go to Kolebu, then unfortunately, because there's already, a company that's supporting dialysis patients there, they were going to just give 50% off 2 sessions, and they're not going to get free like the other hospitals that were listed. Now, these patients have been to some of these hospitals. In fact, yesterday, our reporters visited Kolebu Teaching Hospital to find out if they were even getting a discount on their dialysis treatment. And they were saying that, unfortunately, that's not taking effect yet. They had to pay the full 491 Ghana cedis. And also in Cape Coast Teaching Hospital, we spoke to some patients who also indicated that they are not getting the dialysis treatment for free, like was announced by the National Health Insurance Authority. And so we'll look at that and, of course, try to understand exactly where the problem is and whether the allocation is even enough at this point, because we're told it will last for 6 months, after which there will be a review to see if other diseases can be added on to this, or if they can expand this to include more people. And then after that, yesterday, there was a study that was conducted, in fact, by Professor Smart Sapon, that indicated that the NDC seems to be in the lead when it comes to the 2024 general elections. However, even though the NDC is more popular, their flag bearer, former President John Dramani Mahama, is not as popular as the party. In fact, the NPP's Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is more popular than his party, the NPP. What does this mean, and what methodology did they employ in putting together this research? We'll be getting into all that shortly on the show. If you're watching us, you can also watch us on Facebook at TV3 Ghana and join in the conversation. The hashtag is TV3 New Day. Good morning to all of you. In the studios, I have Nanaya Achimpim Jantwa. She's Executive Secretary for COSECA and also political analyst. I haven't seen her in over a month. Former General Secretary. Former General Secretary for the CPP. Good morning.
Good morning.
Pacha to saying.
We are in there.
I like your outfit, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, also joining us this morning is Louisa Kwachi. She's a communications team member for the NDC. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm well.
Everything okay?
Not too well.
What's wrong with you?
Bella, you wake up in the morning and how to even fend for yourself is a problem. But as I always say, God is our helper, so with hope, I believe that latest by 8th December, there's going to be a Messiah who is in the person of John Dramani Mahama. So with that hope at the back of my mind, I anticipate and I feel better, even though the economy is worse.
Yeah, you don't look like the economy is giving you any bad treatments. You look very well put together this morning. But
air branding.
Air branding. Hey, okay, I see. Nanaya, are you also doing branding?
Once I'm doing well, the branding. How can I do branding? Branding what?
You can't brand.
At this time,
it's not possible.
If you want to eat, you are thinking about branding.
She says she's branding.
Okay, I don't understand her branding, but me even electricity to iron cry is a problem.
You didn't have lights this morning?
So, Nanaya, you actually put something up and then you came. It's not that you are okay. The branding means that you are not okay, but you are showing face.
So you
face. I can't show face because my dress is, I think, crumpled.
Oh, it's not. It's fine.
It's fine.
Maybe you had ironed it previously and
but you have to also do something. No lights, nothing. A yam today, one yam is 40 cedis. Tomato 3. Meaning a bag of 5 cedis. Tomatoes. No, seriously. 1 finger of plantain. You can't buy.
Well, we'll get into our conversation, but we're also expecting Ellen Amat-Derko. She's a member of the NPP communications team to join us. But let's go into our first story for today. Like I mentioned earlier, dialysis patients, kidney patients actually, who are supposed to undergo dialysis treatment at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, were expected to pay at least half of the total cost of 491 Ghana cedis for 2 sessions for this month, per the announcement that was made by the National Health Insurance Authority. A number of them thronged the hospital from Monday, hoping that they could get that discount, but unfortunately, they had to pay the full amount because the hospital indicated that they had not received an official letter from the authority or the ministry indicating that they had to take just half of the amount. And so we'll hear from two of them, actually, who shared their concerns about it, and then we'll cross over to the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital. Now, at the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital, and that won't be the only hospital. In fact, we have Tamale Teaching Hospital as well, Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital, Efiang Kwanta Regional Hospital, and Ho Teaching Hospital. They are supposed to make sure that all kidney patients who are supposed to undergo dialysis treatment and have been listed as part of, the association would get 2 free dialysis treatments every month. They also went there and had to pay for their session. Let's listen to them.
So that it had been reduced to 380, which was the previous payment we used to do. But today when I got there, I was told to pay 491. I feel sad because it was placed everywhere. Television stations, newspapers. So I was expecting to come and meet something nice today. But I got here and then it's still the same.
When Champion next for me besides we receipt to him. It's in 491.
Upon my arrival, the nurses immediately requested the receipt for the payment of the 491 Ghana cedis. I humbly request assistance from people, but after they learned of the news that dialysis would be free, their willingness to help ceased. I've completed my dialysis session, but I don't have the transportation fare to return home. I will need to wait for someone driving in my direction who can drop me off.
50 pesos.
I was happy about it, but unfortunately, when I came for section today, I was charged. So that the government should come out and tell us whether we are going to pay or we are not going to pay.
The demand for dialysis has gone up and the cost is high. So we talked to the president and then we said, look, government has to intervene through national health insurance. And I made the announcement a few months ago, maybe 2 months ago, that national health insurance will work towards providing dialysis treatment for our citizens.
The Vice President also speaking on this matter. But now let's speak to the President of the Renal Patients Association, Mr. Bafo Kojo Ahinkra, to give us an update on what the challenge has been for patients who have had to undergo dialysis treatment. Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us.
My brother.
I hope you're doing well.
By His grace. Now,
I listened to you speak, I think 2 days ago, where you said that you were also part of the committee that was set up to look into how to support renal kidney patients in the country. And so clearly there was some communication supposed to go out to the hospitals to indicate that, some free treatments were going to be made available for patients. So why is this happening?
Thank you very much. Yes, it's true. I was part of the committee that set up the whole thing. So after we finished, our report was sent to the NIA, National Health Insurance, for board approval and everything. So it was done. We were aware that the communique was supposed to be around first, like it was supposed to start around the 1st of June.
Okay.
But we were thinking, committee, we've done our job. So we were thinking the NIA could have done their job by communicating with the hospitals, because after that, as a committee, we did our job. We were done. So it was not our duty to tell our people this, because at the end of the day, we are dealing with the hospital. So it was the responsibility of the NIA to communicate with the hospital. This was what was coming. So get ready for it, or maybe when it is announced, start with it. So I think that was at the point was we did our job. It was done. We submitted a report to them, and we were done with it.
So
it was not our duty to come again.
Okay. Does it mean that the NHI did not communicate with these hospitals?
I wouldn't say so, because the point is, as at Monday, when the team came out, probably some of my people, when they went to the hospital, they paid. They paid because it was Monday morning, even though the team started on Saturday.
Yeah.
Because it was on the weekend, Nobody heard of it. But it came out on Monday morning. But before then, like Kolibu, the first session started at 3 a.m. So that around 6 that the thing came out, people have already paid. They were not aware of it. And then on Tuesday, the National Health Insurance CEO was there also to clarify things with the hospital, like with Kolibu. And he has instructed the hospital that the thing has started, so they should not charge, especially children under 18 and then the aged. And then we that we are in between, we are supposed to pay. We are supposed to enjoy only 2 sessions out of the 8 sessions. So he made it clear to like Kolibu. I was there when he spoke to them about this. The thing has started, so they should not do this, and the money will be released to them.
So what's the update now for patients who might have to go for dialysis treatment today? Has there been an official communication such that if they go, they don't have to pay or have to pay just half of the amount?
No, it depends on the category in which you fall in. If you are below the 18, you are not supposed to pay. You are having the 8 sessions for free. That is by the communication that was given out. And then elderly after 60, that is on pension, are not supposed. So it depends on the category.
I understand.
We that we fall between the, let's say that 20 to 59, you have 2 sessions in the month free. So that depends on what you want to do, or if the hospital can decide that maybe this particular week, because you people have 2 free sessions, we are giving your 2 sessions for you all this so that it can be uniform.
Okay.
I don't know if you understand what I'm just trying to say.
I get you. What I mean with my question is that today, yesterday there were some challenges that were faced by some of these patients. Has there been, an attempt to address it such that if any patient decides to go in today, hoping to get free treatment or hoping to pay half of the amount, maybe at Kolibu, would they be able to go through with this process without being asked to pay?
They should, because the NIA boss was there on Tuesday, and he made this clarity with the director of, the head of, I think one of the director, the name is Franco Wusu Section. He made it clear to them that the thing has started. So when they come, they shouldn't charge them. I was there when he said that.
Yeah, but then
Tuesday.
That was on Tuesday. But yesterday, some of your, your colleagues went and they still had to pay.
Bella, then the only thing I can say, I'm now going to Kolibu to clarify certain things.
Okay.
Because yesterday I was not there. I'm now leaving home to Kolibu to find out what is going on. Then I will communicate to the NIA boss that maybe this is what is going on. But maybe because they need to rectify this thing quickly as possible.
But quickly, are you happy with the announcement that has been made? Because there are some who are raising concerns about the fact that if they are making it free for some people, at least for 2 sessions in some of the other hospitals outside the Greater Accra region, why couldn't they have done that for those who also go to Kolibu, just to make it fair and equitable?
Bella, like I said, I was part of the committee. Kolibu CEO also was there, and the day that he was not able to come, he sent somebody. Now, we've been made to understand there is a philanthropist who is paying part of the money for us.
Okay.
That one is another matter. We'll talk about it another matter, not now.
Okay.
So we in Kolibu are getting that philanthropist. The other regions are not getting it.
Okay.
That is why they were getting full cost of payment. Because if somebody is paying maybe almost half of the money for us, we're paying almost about 380. And let's say National Health Insurance, they're also going to give us the full coverage. Then we'll be cheating those people because we are getting a philanthropist to do some payments for us.
All right.
That is why it was done that way.
All right. Well, at least we're happy that this announcement has been made, and we hope that, the patients will be able to get what is due them as per the announcement. So we'll wait for you to go to Kolibu and hopefully connect with you much later for some more updates. But thank you so much for speaking to us. Mr. Bafo Kojo-Ahenkra is the Renal Patients Association president, and he just spoke on this matter. But Ellen Amadeko has just joined us. She's a member of the communications team for the NPP. Good morning.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm exhausted, but I'm fine.
What's wrong with you?
I was part of them. The vice president was in Greater Accra, so for the past 3 days I haven't.
Oh, you haven't rested?
Had some good sleep.
Oh, I see. Well, he's been talking even about this matter that we raised as well, where he says that he spoke to, government, the executive, to see a way to support the renal patients, and now this has been announced. But clearly you're hearing from some of the patients who are saying that they've been to the hospital expecting to get a discount or at least get the session for free. And the hospitals are saying there's no communication that has come to them directly from the Ministry of Health.
Good morning to our viewers. Good morning to my ladies. As just like every other government policy and every other project, when it comes and when you start, there are going to be a few hitches. This announcement was just made on Monday. And that's the gentleman you spoke to. When I came in, you were speaking to him, so I didn't hear his name and who he is.
He's the president of the Renal Patients Association.
Okay, so I'm sure he was part of the whole committee that set up this, was part of this whole thing. So I'm sure it will be corrected as we go along. But one of the things that I think our renal patients would have to notice, and I realize people think that it's just you just walk in there, but you should be on the National Health Insurance scheme, and you should be a member of the scheme, and then you can enjoy all these benefits. So please, if you're a renal patient and you are not on the National Health Insurance scheme, please get on it. So the people who are complaining that they didn't get it, are they on the? We have to check. Are they on the National Health Insurance scheme?
They are.
All of them.
Well, they have
and if they are, I'm sure a few hitches went on. It will be corrected in the next few.
But why was the announcement made ahead of connecting with the hospitals? Because there should have been a communique sent to the hospital.
But according to the gentleman I just heard, he said the CEO of Kolibu was part of the team.
He says he was part of the team.
He was team, but he did say that the CEO of Kolibu was also part of the committee that sat down to do all this. And as I said, with every new thing that comes up, every new project that comes up, implementation, you have a few issues with it. You will not get it 100%. This announcement was made on Monday.
On Saturday, more like.
Saturday, it was a weekend.
It took effect on Monday.
It will have to take administrative processes for all of that to go through. So I'm sure by the end of the week, they should be able to correct all this, and our patients will get what they are due. If you have paid from Monday, I presume that your payments can be credited against you for other treatments. But whilst we are doing this, and we are saying thank you at least to the National Health Insurance Scheme and the government for doing this, because if you're a renal patient and you're going through dialysis 3 times a week, I have a few friends who are going through it, and it is not a pleasant situation. Whilst we are doing that, we have to also talk to our people and to all Ghanaians that we should also take care of our health. We are drinking too many things, eating too many things that we are not supposed to be drinking and eating. Yes, I agree that there are some people who, by nature or by whichever ailment, they have to go through this. But a lot of the young people, especially those under 40, are actually bringing this on themselves by their bad eating habits and drinking habits. We should also encourage wholesome living and healthy living, because somebody can even decide to pay for you for free for your whole dialysis all the rest of your life, but you are feeling the pinch and the pain of it. So whilst we are encouraging the hospitals to quickly get involved and make sure that our patients get their treatment, we should also talk to our people to also watch what we do and what we do with our bodies, because somebody will pay for you for free, but you will feel the pinch and the pain of it.
Louisa, I've listened to Honorable Kwabena Mintah-Kandor, and he thinks that the NPP is just doing this for political gimmicks and gains. Why would he make such a statement, especially when the kidney patients have complained bitterly about the high cost of treatment, and have asked government to come in and subsidize or at least provide some free sessions for them? Is this not a step in the right direction?
Bella, one thing I would want your viewers this morning to pay attention to is that National Insurance Authority is actually celebrating their anniversary. So as parts of celebrations, they sought to undertake what we call corporate social responsibility. And what it is that they are going to give back to the society whatever they have gained. So for instance, TV3 as a company, you are celebrating your anniversary. So probably when we had the flooding incident in the Volta region, you took some donations to the place. It is your corporate social responsibility to the people at that time. It doesn't mean that it is a policy that is going to happen every time. Because if you watch the communique and listen to the conversations from the authority, what they are saying is that it is actually from a period from this month to December, which is not a government policy.
How is it not a government
So let's
policy?
get the distinction clear.
Okay.
National Insurance Authority.
National Health Insurance.
National Health Insurance Authority is celebrating an anniversary. And as part of the event to commemorate the anniversary, they are undergoing a corporate social responsibility.
But who is funding? Of course, they also have an allocation from their funding, but then there's some 2 million Ghana cedis that was supposed to have been given to them by government. And they're saying that that's the money that they're also using to undertake this exercise.
As per every government agency, you don't determine your spending. It would have to go through parliamentary approval. Because, you know, per some of the funding of the scheme, we have taxes, health insurance levy. And all these things are under a cap, and parliamentary approval needs to be sought before they can actually get access to the funds. So if they go to parliament and they get approval for spending, that is usually not the norm. To celebrate their anniversary as part of the event they want to undertake to commemorate it is different from a government policy. So after establishing this fact, Dr. Bawumia, the vice president, now comes out to announce it prematurely. I say it is premature because if a scheme or an authority is going to undertake any form of event, the parties involved should understand when it is started, when it is taking effect. Because since Monday, I've been listening to the media space, and what the leadership of Kolebu was saying is that they have not been informed that it's actually going to take effect from Monday. So it is one thing being part of a committee, and it's another thing having timelines to work with. Let's establish that distinction as well. So Dr. Bawumia sought to announce it prematurely. What does he stand to gain, if not for cheap political point? Because these renal issues, well, I am so passionate about it, because if you have not had it at your doorstep or had somebody close to you go through it, you will not understand the plight they are going through. I have had some of my SS mates, some of my colleagues from university having to go through this, and we have to organize donations for them to actually undergo dialysis. And I have seen and watched 3 out of them die within this space. So if we talk about renal issues, dialysis, this is not the time to score cheap political points.
I mean, don't we want to look at it as finally something is being done?
Bella, finally something is being done. But what it is that if it must be done, then it must be done right. Because you see, from Monday to now, yesterday, I actually took the steps personally, an initiative to go around and then see what is happening as a citizen and not a spectator. So what it is that most of them do not stay in Accra. So they will have to travel from other places to Accra and lodge somewhere. So when they heard that the whole process is now being absorbed by government, then the little money they have, they mobilize to now come and find a place to stay in Accra so they can have access to it as and when they have to. So the little on them they have used on accommodation. And on Monday, you would have to go. Meanwhile, if you knew beforehand that it wasn't going to start on Monday, the money you use for accommodation to pre-finance that accommodation for the period of 6 months, you could have paid for your dialysis without relying on any statement from the vice president. But now what it is that in this country, we have always spoken about health care. We have always spoken about the health insurance scheme actually absorbing things that are very expensive. And one of these issues borders on organ failure. We talk about these things and not in isolation. I hear conversations in the media space about lifestyle. When the video was ongoing, I saw a young lady in a chair waiting for her turn. And I asked myself, at that tender age, can she afford cigarettes? At that tender age, can she afford alcohol? She's being taken care of by somebody. And I don't think...
But those are not the only causes.
No, I'm saying that when we talk about these issues, that is what people associate it with. But then I would also say that the government has a certain role to play. And if you ask me, per some research outcomes from UNICEF and other international bodies, they say that the water we drink as a result of galamsey pollution is actually affecting our health negatively. And one of those adverse effects is the failure we are having with our organs. So in as much as we are talking about we are having solutions now, we should also look at the causal effects. Now, I would want to commend National Health Insurance Authority for this great initiative, because we've always been shouting and singing this song that there should be a certain cushion to cushion these people, because we cannot lose our labor force. A majority of these persons are persons who are working, and some are even the breadwinners of their families. So if they cannot go about their duties, I am thinking of that young girl who has to wake up early morning, put on a uniform and go to school, and the father has to go through dialysis that they cannot even afford. What happens to the future of the kids of such patients? So Bella, what we want to say as a party I represent, NDC, is that the lives of the ordinary Ghanaian is above cheap political points. Because the Health Insurance Authority is using this as a pilot. What it means is exactly that they would want to absorb, I've listened to conversations, they say that they would want to absorb dialysis patients onto the scheme. But if they want to absorb them onto the scheme, then they would have to pilot and see how much they are going to spend. How many people? So this morning I spoke to somebody from the authority, and the person tells me that as part of the reasons why other people cannot have access to it is that you would have to be a member of the association. So I was happy when we were talking to the president. A couple of people do not even know that they have to be part of a certain association. You listen to people who are coming from Nkakom, people who are coming from Pagachana, as far back as the villages. They do not even know that there's an association they would have to be part of. So the association actually gave them a list they are working with. Because before funds are released, you should have a certain budget and threshold. What has it got to do with Dr. Bawumia prematurely announcing and seeking to score cheap political points?
But he says that he spoke to the executive to try and see if something can be done about this situation. Is there anything wrong with him coming out to say that he was very instrumental in getting this done?
Borrowing his own words. He uses this phrase, it will expose you. So, if you do not speak to an executive and you claim to have spoken to an executive, the issues on the grounds will expose you.
I think he didn't.
Because if he had spoken to the executive, you would have known that on Monday, this program was not going to be rolled out on Monday.
Okay, let me bring Nanaya in. I mean, do you also think that this is just an attempt by the NPP to score cheap political points?
Did you see me doing this?
Yes, I noticed.
Yes, because this is laughable, this is annoying.
How?
Yes, seriously. You are dealing with the lives of people, and you are joking with it. You want to score cheap political points. What kind of data? Why do you have to belong to an association before you enjoy the facility? Tell me. These are the lives of people we are talking about. And we are only talking about Kolebu. Is Kolebu the only dialysis center? Kolebu cannot even take on the people who are there.
But it's not just Kolebu. I gave a list of other hospitals I am
saying that if you want to have the number, I have even, as I said, I have listed about how many hospitals that do it. UGMC does it, Bank Hospital does it, so HealthNet, Providence. So you have to go round and get data that how many people are on dialysis. What is their state? Because it is not only dialysis, they also have to take certain medications. Do you get me? Even the food that they eat, that one might not be your cost. But they have to also take certain medications. They have to do end-of-month labs. Do you get me? So if you want to do this holistically, do it. I did a cursory calculation. And using some numbers. Within these 6 months, that numbers, which is not even everybody, you are spending about 1 million. So why are you joking with the lives of such a critical illness? You have the COVID fund. What is it doing? This COVID fund should be converted to a critical diseases levy. And we will all pay even if they increase it.
But we're already paying levies into the National Health Insurance.
But I am saying that if you don't have the money, and the levies you are paying, even if it is not enough, what is the COVID fund doing? It is going to the consolidated fund. What is that money we still pay? And it is more than what we pay for the NHIL. So what is it doing? I'm asking you. I have a bill here. On that bill is the COVID fund. If you like, I'll show it to you. COVID is not as bad as it used to be. So what is that money doing, the levy that we are paying?
And in actual fact, if you buy something, COVID levy is 1%.
Yes.
NHIL is actually 2.5%.
Whatever it is, COVID fund 1%. What is it doing? NHIL is looking after 32 million people. 32 million. Granted, everybody has a national insurance card. It's looking after 32 million people. The COVID fund, what is it doing? Who is it looking after? So no matter the amount that goes, government should be transparent about how much is going into the COVID fund, the levy, and transfer that levy to critical diseases and do some good work, some data, not this haphazard thing that you have to join an association. If the person doesn't join an association, so the person is not a Ghanaian. The person is not paying. As long as that person buys something at a shop, they are paying something into the COVID fund. So why should it be that you should join an association between the ages of 19 to what? And what about the middle? Well, did you listen to Louisa? And if we are if we are looking, the young ones are getting it. And why? Some have never even taken alcohol before. You get me? Some had been on strict diets, eating well. What happened after COVID? Have we even taken the opportunity or the chance to look at what happened after COVID? One of the critical issues of COVID is organ failure. Have we gone to see that what is happening to these people? We can't just say that they are drinking. Some of these young ones are pure Christians. They've never touched alcohol. They've never touched any drink. We cannot just say that because they are living a certain lifestyle. Even if, are they not Ghanaians? Why don't we take our time to do some great... Nobody even cares about them, if not for political points. Who has gotten up to say, let's go to Noguchi. Let's find out what is going on with these young ones having organ failures, kidney failure. Who has really done that? That we are all Ghanaians. And let's see what is happening. Even when you go on the net and you are reading about these things, ever since these issues came up, I've been doing some research. If you read, normally, even on the net, they are talking about ages of 65 and above. Yeah. They are not talking about people 20, 21, 26. They are getting these things. And you know your life would just change like that. Young people having started work who are not married. Just look at the young woman who was talking. Very young. Do you understand? There is one who is very vociferous. I like her. Her name is, I think, Stacy or something like that.
There was even a 16-year-old who died last year.
Yes, 16-year-old who died. And so what are we talking about? 2 million Ghana cedis will not do anything. Let's do data. How many people do we have in Ghana who are on this? Look, I didn't even add 37. I have listed about 10 facilities. In the 3 northern regions, there is no facility. You see, if we are doing it, we should look at it holistically. There are people who don't even have a place to go and clean their system, the toxins in their system, because their kidneys are compromised. In Konfanoche, when the finance minister got there, they have 2 machines. Do you get me? And there are private places where they have put up these facilities to augment what government has. As a first step, how many people are there? If you are helping, help everybody, because everybody is a Ghanaian. Of course, maybe some people don't even know that you have to be on the national health insurance. So you have to do education. But for me, I'm not going to congratulate anybody on this. Because you see, you don't have to do things in a shoddy manner. When we are talking about Ghanaians, we need to know that we are dealing with our people. When you go abroad, people on dialysis, they live very normal lives. They are on insurance. They are catered for, well catered for. There are a lot of research going on. Nobody is even finding out, can we find some multivitamins for them? Can we make their life easier? That is where you are saying you are caring for a certain segment of the society who are not doing well. People who have cancers, childhood cancers. They are just there. And we have COVID-19 levy. Even if it is 0.5%, what is the money being used for? Going into the console, why don't they take it to the National Health Insurance?
But you see, the other concern as well, and I listened to the acting CEO of the National Health Insurance Authority. He's even complaining about the fact that even the monies that accrue for national health insurance, it goes into the consolidated fund before it has to be sent to them.
Why?
Even that, they are not getting the full amount.
But that is what I am talking about. You are agreeing with me. Why? The money is for health. And with the national health insurance, it is specific. So you should have a fund, a bank account, that the money goes straight into the account because we are paying it for them. It is not supposed to go into I don't know if there is a law which says that the money has to go into consolidated fund for it to be redistributed. But my dear, whatever government that is in power, that money should go straight to NHIS.
Yeah.
Do you get me? That money should go straight there. It shouldn't pass anywhere. The COVID levy, we should convert into a critical diseases fund.
Okay.
Do you get me? So this whole business that we are talking about, it does not, the word is not even coming. It's not nice. Because people have to join association. So what about those in the middle?
Okay.
You see, the older ones, the old people, they even have some of their children helping them. Do you get me? The other ones who are very young, they are parents. But the in-between are those who are, maybe they finish university, they are not working, they don't have any job, they are working, but their job cannot sustain this. Those people are the critical ones that you have to even look at them also. Some of them are jobless. I know somebody who is always going around begging because he's a young man who is jobless. And you have to look at them. How can you say that those people there, you have left them? Then don't start. If you are not ready, don't start.
Okay. Ellen, so what do you say to this? Because clearly you've listened to Nanaya and Louisa, and they're not too happy with how this is even.
Because I'm very passionate about this.
I find it quite interesting that we are sitting here as representatives of political parties. So the NDC has been in power before. When they were in power, people had renal disease. People having kidney issues did not start when MPP came into power in 2017. It's been with us since time immemorial. It's part of the diseases that affect human beings, including cancers and everything. You have a government that has listened to the cries of his people and says that, look, after going through all the things that people have been saying and people looking for help, this is the policy, or this is what we are bringing up so that people get some relief. People were not being supported at all, zero. It's not as if the NDC even thought about it to do it.
But why are we putting a political cap on it?
Well, they did. When I sat down, when I started talking, I didn't put any political anything on it. I just went straight to the point. They did. When you have a member of parliament, you mentioned Honorable Akando's name. I mean, attacking Dr. Baumia for what? They are attacking Dr. Baumia because of what? His vice president and his party and his government. And NHIA is a government institution. So he says, I've spoken to the executive. And which executive is he talking about? He's not talking about the executives of the National Health Insurance. He's talking about executive as in the executive of this country, the presidency, where the Minister of Health is part of cabinet. So they sat down, they discussed it, and they decided that this is what we are going to do. If you are on national health insurance and you have a kidney issue, you have to go for dialysis. 0 to 18 years, free. Above 18 to 59, we'll pay half for you. Above 60, it is free. And you are attacking Dr. Baumia for saying this.
But that's what they're saying, that look at it holistically.
What is
instead
the holistic?
of just going straight into...
Bella, when they were all speaking, I was silent. What holistic looking into it again do you want him to do? It is a process we are starting. The health insurance is doing this for the next 6 months. And just like they did last year, if you remember, last year we put pediatric cancers on health insurance. They also started it for a while. Made sure that they saw how it will work, made sure that all the processes were in place, and then eventually they've made it permanent. It's the same processes that we are starting with this one. So yes, a policy has started just on Monday. Let's see how it will go. But you go all out, guns blazing, attacking Dr. Baumia, What has Dr. Baumia and the MPP done in this matter?
But why did we have to wait till now?
Well,
I mean, it took about 19 people to die last year.
My dear,
us
so
owing Kolebu Teaching Hospital 4 million Ghana cedis for them to shut down their renal department.
You did not interrupt.
No, you cannot tell me how to do my job. You cannot tell me how to do my job. What I'm asking is that last year, 19 people died. Kolebu had to shut down its renal department because government owed them 4 million Ghana cedis. Why did we not think about all these things then? Why did we have to wait till now?
The important thing is that it has come. Last year, people died of accidents. Have we not been doing education on car and how to drive and road safety matters in this country? Last year, people died of cancer.
You're trivializing this.
Last year, people died of cancer.
You're trivializing
is cancer not on national health insurance? Other cancers, pediatric cancers, are they not on national health insurance? So it is a process. Just like how pediatric cancers have been put on national health insurance, renal issues too have been taken care of. The complaints last year, this should tell you that last year and everything that went on, the government has listened and the government have brought it up. And we are now starting the whole process. And you are attacking Dr. Baumia because Dr. Baumia announced
They listened after the place was shut down.
But Bella, the point is, Kolebu has been around.
Them money.
Kolebu has been around since the 1920s. Kolebu has been solving issues, taking care of us all these years. Renal and kidney matters are part of the health system, are part of the diseases that Ghanaians go through. So just like every other disease that comes up, we discuss it. Yes, people die. And then you move on and you find a solution to it. A solution has been found. And you are attacking us for finding a solution to it and telling that it should be holistic. What holistic? What holistic?
How sustainable is this?
Well,
I mean, we're talking about 6 months.
It's just like the cancer issues. Cancer is also very expensive to treat. But National Health Insurance has been able to put especially pediatric cancers on the National Health Insurance scheme. It's the same thing with the kidney matters. So the sustainability and how it will run, just like how other diseases are being taken care of by the National Health Insurance, the kidney diseases too would be taken care of. My issue here this morning is that something has been done about it. For the past 50, we are how many years old? 60-something years old since our independence. Nobody has given kidney patients free dialysis. Nobody has done that. No government has put that policy in place. This government, in the past 3 days, have told you that anybody who is on National Health Insurance scheme and you are going through this, we are going to take care of you. And then you have the opposition who are not bringing us any other alternative. So assuming that we are not even doing it well, what is the alternative? They are rather attacking the policy and attacking Dr. Baumia.
But the problem is that the National Health Insurance Authority should be able to take care of some of these things, but they're handicapped because they are not getting the funds.
That is why they have added it to it.
So the monies that we pay, whenever we purchase something or whenever a percentage of our salaries are paid into our SNIT, we know that a percentage is paid into the National Health Insurance levy. A number is capped. So even what we buy, a percentage of it is capped. So even the National Health Insurance Authority is not getting the funds directly, first of all, because it has to go to the consolidated fund before it is sent to them. Even that, they are complaining that they are not getting the money on time.
So
they are in arrears.
What exactly
so if that's the case, we are not equipping the National Health Insurance Authority on time enough for them to be able to take care of some of these issues.
So then we have to resituate this conversation well. Are we having a problem with the fact that National Health Insurance and the government says we are going to give people free dialysis? Are we having a problem with that? Do we think that is okay? Or we are having a problem with the fact that National Health Insurance, like any other health or other schemes, the processes by which they get their monies, they are not getting it. Which one is the problem now? Because if that is the problem, the processes that National Health Insurance and all the other schemes get their money, we have a problem. Then we have to go to Parliament and then go and change the law. But we are not discussing the law now.
No, but that also plays a role in what's happening now.
We are discussing the policy that has come out that says that renal patients should get some free services and how to make sure that those policies are implemented. So if you come and sit here and you are trying to divert my attention from the fact that it is the NDC that has decided to politicize it by Mr. Akando and
you cannot put the policy above the law.
And this lady here trying to attack Dr. Baumia for saying that we are going to give renal patients free dialysis. What is the problem with that? What is your alternative? If you think what we are doing is wrong, what is your alternative? You don't have any. What we have to do going forward A policy has been brought out. It's good that we are all following it to make sure that, yes, the policy is working. But when you come attacking Dr. Baumia and you come mixing up issues, Dr. Baumia says we are going to give the free dialysis. He has done well. National Health Insurance have done well. Whether it is social corporate responsibility, whatever it is, people are going to get it for free. It is a government agency. It is under the Ministry of Health that is run by the Minister of Health, who is part of cabinet.
But the question
is
this sustainable? Beyond the 6 months, will we be able to sustain this, especially when the National Health Insurance Authority is in arrears?
Other diseases are also on it. National Health Insurance does not take care of only renal patients, those who have been just added. All other diseases are on it. And they will be paid accordingly.
Will they get their monies on time? Let me bring Louisa in.
They have been paid.
They have not been paid.
Well,
they have not been paid. I listened to the National Health Insurance Authority acting CEO.
He says
since February that he took over, they have not received their money.
They'll receive their
money. So they are in arrears.
While those who are complaining in their time, they left National Health Insurance in arrears for years. It took this administration to pay up. That should tell you that the monies come in and they are paid as and when the monies are available.
Okay.
This morning we are not discussing monies that are being paid.
No.
We are discussing the renal patients.
We are discussing
and the fact
money.
That they are now on National Health Insurance.
The money. You didn't decide on the topic, Ellen.
It is a good policy.
You didn't decide on the topic. We did.
Dr.
So we're bringing that in because
that
it is supposed to be a holistic approach. Let me bring Louisa in so we can just quickly move on. I mean, you've listened to Ellen. And she says that they are not doing this for political gimmicks. Clearly, you have no business attacking Dr. Baumia.
Bella, if this lady says that, what is the problem of us this morning? The problem actually is that she actually trivialized the issue and didn't even find it upset that we had to wait for 22 people to die before putting measures in place. That is the problem we have this morning. The other problem we have this morning, it's how we do not take care of our labor force. She is talking about the fact that a certain government was owing, a certain government was doing this. What is our alternative, Bella? It is very, I don't want to use the word, it's very upset. Let's leave it at that. For a certain government to actually ask opposition parties to run the government for them, when they were busy calling the party in power then incompetent, they didn't know that they were supposed to put measures in place when they're elected into power. And she sits here this morning and asks us what our problem is. What our problem is that people who are families, people who do not even have jobs, people who are NAPCO trainees or officers, they call it, who have not received their stipends in months, are actually having renal issues and they cannot afford dialysis. This morning, when we were talking, I have a former lecturer who actually was going through these issues, and we had to mobilize for him to travel to India for a transplant. And he just sends this message. He says, no demography is more important or less important when it comes to support for dialysis. The less than 18 and more than 60 are even less burdened than those in the median. What we need as a country is not a 6-month freebie. We need subsidies on dialysis material. When I went to India, the patients there pay less than 100 cedis for dialysis, even at a private hospital. Government should stop taxing these materials, expand dialysis infrastructure, and pay monies owed to the health facilities through the National Health Insurance Scheme.
So would you say that would be the alternative that you'd want to put out there? Because you seem to have a problem with how they are running.
I have a problem. Bella, she
Make
says
it brief for me. We have to move on.
The period of which they are running the program is our problem, if she wants to know the problem. Because we were in this country, when inching towards election, they told us that they are giving freebies on utility, free water, free electricity for 3 months. After the 3-month period, when they won the election on December 7th, in January, we started paying through our noses. So our problem is that we will put these patients, these vulnerable persons, on a 6-month freebie, and after the 6 months, what happens to them? Should they go home and die? That is our problem this morning. So what we are saying is that as a scheme, as a government, we should have a lasting solution and not just wait when it is time for election to actually prefer solutions that are going to last just for the election period. That is our problem this morning.
Nanaya.
You see, Bella, the point is that, let me tell you something. Government should be holistic. I'll say it every day. Because before this time, the issue of dialysis was not even to the fore. And especially those, as Louisa's lecturer, I think I would know the person. Louisa's lecturer is talking about the in-between, the ages that they are ignoring are more burdened. And I said it, and he has corroborated what I said. They are more burdened. So if you have done any data, you have done analysis of the situation, you would know where you should put your effort and do it properly. Bella, even the infrastructure for dialysis, the consumables are taxed. Can you imagine? The consumables they use for the dialysis, they are taxed. Even at that point, you are taxing the consumables. So what shows that you have empathy for them? Tell me. It is not tax-free. And that's even one of the reasons why it makes the situation very, very, very difficult and dire. The medicines they use are so expensive. I'm telling you, they have so many issues. The lines get infected and the medicines that they use to clear the infections, otherwise you are killed, are so expensive. The medicines they give for them to boost their immune system and blood are so expensive. So what are you talking about?
But isn't that why they are excited then, or at least grateful, that they've been asking for government to step in,
dear, you see,
and reduce the price, or at least provide some free dialysis? The government has done that. If you
want food, you are hungry to a certain level, and I give you quarter food, you still be hungry, you know.
But it's a start, is it not?
No, you are still hungry.
Is it not a start?
It is not a start. If you are hungry, you should eat to fill your tummy. You don't have to joke with them. Look, last year, the people who died, where was government? If you have today 2 million to support, why didn't they pay the Kolebu fee? The money that was owed to Kolebu. How long did it take for them to do that? They waited for people to die. You see, I will never forget the picture of that young woman, that young girl, I think 22 or so.
16.
16,
yeah.
Who said that I will die because my mother is dead, an orphan. My mother is dead, and I don't have anybody to help me. Bella, the next thing I heard, the girl was dead. Because I was even going to raise funds to help him. Hey, sorry. And it hits me so bad that today it still hits me. I see that picture on TV3. She stood there and said, I will die. My mother is dead. I don't have any help. And the way she opened her door in the family house and entered her room, I'll never forget. But where was government at that time? Where was the NHIA? NHI always makes that NHIA. Then NHIA. Bella, tell me. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Because before you want to do it holistically. You need to put together data. Go to these centers, find people to do research. Find out how many people are on dialysis. What is the cost like? You don't need to rush into it because it is a political year. No, you do it very well. Kofor put together a single spine. And who came to pay? Then you put a policy on it. You divert COVID funds into this thing, critical diseases. You make sure that the money doesn't go into the consolidated fund. You make all these arrangements so that the NHIA is well resourced to do whatever they want to do.
Okay. Well, let's move on now. Unfortunately, we don't have time. Coco, you have to dash me some extra time. You see, I'm smiling at you at this point. So we can get into the second conversation. But